The First World War began in 1914 and engulfed Europe as well as Africa. Millions of people were killed or injured during this war. The countries involved included Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Russia, America, Austria, Hungary, Serbia, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire. The war was fought between two groups. One was called the Allies, which included Britain, France, Russia, and Italy, while the other was the Central Powers, consisting of Germany, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire. These groups began manufacturing and stockpiling weapons. If you study World War I on Google, you will find in its Wikipedia entry a cause referred to as fragmented governance and arms race. This clearly shows how fragmented governments got involved in the arms race. At the start of the 19th century, visible changes began to emerge, largely due to political developments and the Industrial Revolution. Some European countries were tired of monarchies, while others managed to run both monarchy and parliamentary systems together. Despite this, long-standing disputes, retaliatory politics, and linguistic divisions were at their peak. Every European nation had two primary goals: to emerge victorious in war and to establish new colonies. The alliances formed among European countries made them more dangerous for their opponents, which in response led to similar alliances on the other side. It would not be wrong to say that Allied politics could ignite a spark that would engulf the entire continent. By the early 19th century, the threat of war loomed over European nations and governments. Ideally, European intellectuals and statesmen should have solved these issues with patience and diplomacy. But this did not happen. Instead, their rulers made hasty and irresponsible decisions, resulting in a war that claimed millions of lives, rendered millions homeless, and left many orphaned and abandoned. With industrial development came an increased trend toward modern weaponry in European countries. A significant amount was spent on the invention of machine guns, cannons, and tanks. Armies were on high alert, and efforts were being made to improve communication. Railways were enhanced for better transportation. Lessons from previous European wars were being applied. European military experts focused on topics such as modern weaponry, rapid communication, the spirit of fighting in the army, economic stability, and most importantly, the strategy of pooling economic resources in case of a prolonged war to ensure victory. Notable countries in these efforts included Germany, Britain, Russia, and France. Since modern weaponry was new, training was conducted to familiarize troops with its use. The extensive use of weapons led some European countries to develop iron warplanes and airships. In naval warfare, German U-boats revolutionized technology, allowing attacks on enemy ships without being detected. This made it easier for Britain, Germany, and France to target enemy vessels. For instance, France's naval power doubled between 1910 and 1914, and Germany became the second largest naval power. Britain, however, maintained its position as the leading naval force. Pilots were trained to such an extent that gunners were positioned at the very front of planes to fire continuously without interruption. During the First World War, from 1914 to 1918, around 6.5 million people took up arms. 1 million were killed, and 2 million were emotionally and psychologically affected. Some joined the war willingly. The war began with the use of new and large weapons, and the deployment of artillery was beyond imagination. The footage and photos of World War I that we see today were captured by a German crew filming the scenes in trenches. Communication was a major issue at the time. When a volunteer or citizen from one country was sent to another for message delivery, they were often killed, further aggravating the situation. The trenches were heavily guarded, with one battalion maintaining positions inside while another secured the perimeter. Trenches were considered safe, and soldiers often resided there. Barbers would even shave soldiers in these trenches. In 1914, the life expectancy of any pilot was no more than 11 days, similar to the vulnerability of those stationed in the trenches who could be attacked at any time. Initially, armies used large air balloons to launch missile-shaped attacks. During the First World War, Britain and Germany only had one significant naval encounter. Both countries had prepared massive and expensive warships. Britain aimed to ensure the uninterrupted transportation of war supplies to effect